Awesome.
Okay, we are in week 5. Yeah, it's only 1 week left, but I might be extend one more week, guys, because I'm really feel that we still need more time to show you some more tips about the lighting, and also for the final project, it's important. So don't surprise if we extended one more weeks. It's gonna be something important for you. Anyway, today, before we start, I would like to give you some feedback, okay, uh, about your previous work that you did this week. The feedback is very important for you to just try to improve your work and to understand what the mistake you did. Okay, so I'm gonna start first with the Muhammad, uh, the portrait shot that you take it. Uh, Muhammad, if you remember last session when we talk about
Sorry,
the
so,
portrait
sorry.
light, yeah,
One second. Sorry,
yeah,
1 second. It's not that one. That one. It's only the
this
key
one,
light.
right?
I want to show you only the key light. It's just the previous one with the 3 hearts, if it's possible.
Oh
That's the
yeah.
right one.
Okay, so just give me second.
Yeah.
So you mean that one, right? That one is correct?
Yes. 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 Absolutely.
Okay,
Thank
perfect.
you.
All right, great. So if you remember when we talk about the portrait light, I give you two advices. The first thing, you have to follow this guides, okay? Because it's very good guides for you to understand how you can create portrait light like in the studio. So the mistakes that you did here, the light direction is not correct. You put the light from the top, and you have this called it's bad shadow, okay? Because this area, it can't be leave it like this. So you have two choices. You can just make this side dark if you have an idea about this. So like this man has two character, one is hidden and one is visible. So you can hide this half, or you can get this V shape, a triangular shape that I showed you. It's something gonna be more nicer to have very cinematic light. The V shape, it's very important for you to get cinematic lights, because in the cinematic or in the portrait, you have to always to show the artist that you really understand the light setup. Okay, it's not just about the spotlights that you added. No, it's something reflect on this character. So someone like in Breaking Bad, I would prefer to just add one light and keep the other side dark like this one. So if you can get this, it will be perfect because it's gonna reflect on his character. I never seen this TV series before, but I know the characters. So he was a nice guy, and then he changed it to become the bad guy. So he has two faces, you know. So when you think about the lighting, always think about this character. How I can show this character to the people. So it's this man. It's very calm guy, and he's in peaceful, or he has different character or had hidden character. The always dark side. It means there is something behind, you know. There is something not visible to everyone. So if you can add the dark light, it should be perfect. Okay, so if we go here on the lighting, okay, and however you can, let's say you're gonna add spotlight. And remember when I told you that the light should be 45-degree to get a nice light position. Okay, so if we turn this off, you see now we have this your light. This is not nice. So what you can do, just need to hide this. You can make this V shape and then add the fill light on the other side, or, oops. You can make this side, it's fully dark. Okay, like this, but still has some light here, so we shouldn't see any light there. But here's the idea. So try to get the light in the correct position to just have some nice lighting. The light looks okay, but as I told you, you have to add the light, and this light should be reflected on the characters. Okay, so this character, as I said, if you try to make him like what you did here, it's okay, but you have to move the light more and just add a little bit of fill light to not make this area too dark. Okay.
Just to explain a bit, I
Yeah.
redid the scene, and I redid a bit of the lighting,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't take in consideration the character of the character itself.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to do studio lighting, like where I can
Yes.
put any character and I have an instant lighting.
Yes.
That's what the idea I had in mind at first.
Yeah.
But I tried to update it. But
yeah, even if you did this, try to follow this this guide.
yeah,
It's important for you. Okay. So because your studio light is not correct, so you have to try to tweak it more. Okay. Just move the light. You just need to move the light direction to have a correct light position. Okay.
yeah.
But never
Yeah.
keep your light has this weird shadow. Okay.
Mhm.
So as I told you here, I think this is a very good example. You can really see how the light can meet from. So you can create your own light, and in the end you will get very nice lighting. Okay.
Thank you.
But don't worry, it's just about the practice. Just keep practice. Nothing comes from the beginning.
That's
So if
exactly it. Yeah.
I have very weird image. If I showed you my previous work about 5 years, it's not too far, but I can say 5 years, it was really bad, very, very bad. So don't worry about the lighting. Your light will come better if you just keep practice. You really need to keep practice. Okay, so the big mistake most of you did here, and you didn't follow the instructions that I told you last session, you focused on the character only. Most of you just focus on the character, but none of you just working on the environment first and then add the light on the character. So this mode, Mattia, it looks very nice. I love it. There is matching between the yellow and blue. But again, so anybody can do this. Okay, anyone can do this. Anyone can put direction lights and add yellow light. It's over. But in the cinematic, for the practice, we need to have something more complex, okay, and more complicated. So it's not about too much light, but it's about the light sensation. You need to feel this place. Okay, it doesn't matter to keep this character on the front of the window. So you have to think about something better than this. So don't always go to the easiest way. No, I need you to think about the hardest way, you know, how to add some complex lighting, and in the end, when they match all this light, it looks nice and looks cinematic. And I'm gonna show you some tips today how we can fix all of this issue. Maybe the first one that Puba did, I really love it because only one thing, the light, it's reflect on the character movement. Okay, so this man, what I feel, he looks really sad, he losing hopes, and the emotional, I'm really feeling all of his emotion.
That was my point to do. So
yes,
I'm happy that I achieved that.
yeah, that I'm really feeling. I'm really feeling.
Okay.
The only thing you missed here, the light in exterior, and I will show you something very, very, very simple. You can change your light in the exterior to get more natural.
Yes, please. Yes, yes, because I didn't know how to do that, but
Yeah,
I know that that is missing,
absolutely.
definitely. I know
Yeah,
that that
it's
is missing. And Karim, sorry,
yeah.
can you go back a little bit? Sorry.
y-
Can you also show me, I mean, when is the time to make the sun beams with fractal textures inside, so it's not that flat. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
Yes.
from the reference? Okay, yes,
Yeah,
perfect.
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's
One
what I'm
thing.
gonna show you now. That's what I was
Okay.
talking about.
I
Great.
also wanted to say, Karim,
Yes.
thanks for the feedback. And if you can later, like, but maybe it's what you're gonna show today, propose some ideas of how to improve that kind of lighting, like how
Yes.
to give more. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought when you told me, hey, feel it more, but I said, let's wait because I don't have a strategy like to go ahead.
Don't worry. That's what I'm gonna show you today. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about something. Most of you they add the light in interior, but none of you they think about the light in the exterior. So there is no way to have very bright light in the exterior, because in the exterior always has some assets like a street, maybe it is in the street or neighbors around you. So we should have some light outside to reflect the light inside. It's not only about the fog. So never add the fog and make the fog strong and you say that's my light, it's over. No, it's not over, it's not correct. If I show you here this one, so if you look at this, there is something outside, okay? But what is it? It's just plain. It's just plain with emissive light. And this is exactly what you want to add whenever you have window, okay? It doesn't matter to add exterior scene, but you can just add one plane and put it outside to reflect the light inside, okay? So if I select this light, this camera, let's select this one. You see the light outside, it looks natural because there is something visible. It's not about the fog. So if I select the directional light here, you see, I still have directional light. But if you add the fog, something like this, it will be missing some cinematic mood, like the exterior. It's very important to make the scene more natural for you. So what you have to do is very simple. It's very, very simple. Just create a plane. Okay. So just need to get this one. So we just add a plane from here. Okay. And after that, I'm gonna go to the Google and let's search for street, night or day or whatever you have. Okay. So I found this. I feel like it looks okay. So I took it and I added in Unreal Engine. Okay. And what you need to just create material. Okay. So let's take this again. Where it is. Okay. Yeah. See. So I'm gonna import it to Unreal Engine, and from material, just drag the texture, and all you need to create M multiply an emissive light and the base, and we'll select this texture and press 1 to create this value, convert it to parameter, and let's say this background, and we'll add 1. Okay. So from here, I will just replace this texture to this one. Okay. So if we go back, now I can simply change the parameters. I will get more bright light or less light. And now you can add it outside. So you can simply add it in Photoshop and add more blur to make the backgrounds blurry. If you can't get blur effect from the camera, like here, now I have some nice blur, but if your camera position it's facing to this window and you can't add the blurring, you can simply open the Photoshop and add blur effect to this one. So after you add this light, this plane, you have to think about the light outside. So this light comes from the lantern. So if I go outside here, look at this. I add just very small point light to have natural light. And I can from here add some, let's say some fog to just reflect on the light outside. So if we look at here, you see, when I add more intensity for this light, it looks natural. Okay, so from here you can take this light or this plane and replace it here also. But what I did here, I keep the background has a blue light, which is comes from the moon, and this side is gonna has more warm light to make the color harmonies. So here is a balance between each element. Okay, the same idea here I did in this background. The background, it's yellow, and here it's blue. But just look at this background has more yellowish, but I add the blue here. But in foreground here we have blue, but I add orange light outside. So that's something. It's mean the matching light color harmony and inverted color between the background and foreground. Okay, so if you have strong light, so I have in the background strong orange color. So to break this color, I add a blue light. And here I have the strong light here. It's blue, comes from the TV. I break it with orange light. So when we match this, in the end, you will get something more natural and more cinematic. So if you remember, I told you work first on your background and then add the light to your character. Why? Because let's see if I have this light off. I just need to make, yeah. So let's say you have this light. Okay. It looks nice. It's nothing. Okay. I feel like it's okay, but it's still missing something. You have environment. And I told you, when you work with a team, the environment artist and the texture and light and material artist, they put a lot of work in this scene. But if you didn't, if you are not put your attention to this scenes to add the lights, it will missing a lot of things. So always think about the environment first. So we have environment. So this environment should be lit first. And after that, you can add your light to the character, because the light on the character, it's just 3-point light, full light, key light, and rim light. But the hardest part, it's about the background. So always think first about the background. So what I have to do here, okay? Never only add direction light. I'm really hate to add direction light only in the scene. No, start first to add some nice lights inside, and then let's start to think about the outside. Never start with the direction. If you even remember in the exterior scenes, in the first 2 sessions, I told you never add the direction light in the beginning. Add first your light, the global light first, and then you can in the end add direction light. But don't start to add direction light in the beginning. So if we go back here, my light now, it's created for this for the shooting. So now I am a director and I come to you, I'm gonna say, okay, can you turn off the backlights? Yes, I can do. You see? So can you turn off the spotlight? Yes. Please turn off the spotlight. Okay. And now I just keep this light. But in the end, I did all of my work correctly. I add the light for the background and I already added the light for the character. And also I followed the lighting techniques to have the fill light and the rim light and the key light for each element here. Just look at this one. I just want to show you something here. You see this spotlight? I need to take this here. You see the light here? It's just a small light, but it's important to add it because here there is a spotlight. This light, it should be reflected on this flower. So this flower, there is someone created. There is someone put 5 hours or 6 hours to create this flower to put it in your scene. So if you keep this dark or black, you missed something. So that's why I told you start first with the indirect light and add some nice light in your scene. After you finish, you can focus on the character. But if you keep your attention focused on the character, you will miss a lot of things around. Okay. And also think about the color harmony. When you have blue light, try to break it with another color, like orange color. If the background has more orange color, try to break it with a blue color. Okay. So in the end, you will get very nice image. Like here. And again, when you finish, the director will come to you and he will decide, okay, turn off this light or turn on this light. But at least in the end, you have good color. Okay. Good light. The second thing, have you ever think about how to blend the lights? What is the light blending? That's what I mean. If you look at this light, rectangle lights, you see, I have lights here come from this TV. Okay. If we select this camera, the close shot, the light looks okay. It looks natural, but this light should comes from the TV. So the TV is not only has one color. If we have an action mode or any other video play in the TV, we should see different color, maybe orange, blue, green. So try to think about this, how we can add many lights as a layers to make blending like in painting. So what I did here, this light, okay, it looks nice, but for me, it looks purple, only one color. But with add spotlight here, I followed the techniques for the cinematic, which is I created the V shapes. And also, if you zoom in here now, oh my God. So if you zoom in here now, you will really see there is two lights different on her face. This is a blue and purple, and then we have a nice orange here. So now we mix it many lights. It's not only one light direction. So I add many colors as a layers in the end to have some matching natural color. And here's the idea. So you always think about the light in environment overall. So what happens if I add blue and then add another light has purple light and add another light has orange light. So in the end, when you mix it, all of this light together, you can get really cinematic lighting modes. Is that did you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so yeah.
Just to add, when you talk about light blending,
Mhm.
it's obviously adding more light with different temperatures or different colors.
Exactly.
But it's mainly also about the intensity of those lights, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because if they are all in the same intensity, let's say like 8, that blend in like a gradient, right? Like it would be more harsh.
Yes.
So that is something that, you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
don't be afraid of playing with, you know, moving a light to a really, really, really low value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, right. Intensity is very important. If you keep the intensity as a same value, you will never get blending. But as I told you, if you think more like the artist when he used the colors to paint any portrait, for example, he always used the white to just make the color more bright or more strong, or just blend. He can use the color to blend between the blue and the orange to get different color. In the lighting side, also you have to think the same things. You have to think about how I can add different lights. In the end, when we blend it together, I will get some nice cinematic light. Like here, you see the light, it looks okay, but it's flat. Her face, it looks really flat. But I just add very small spotlights. Here, boom, it make difference. You see? Just small lights. But I was put in mind, I have to add the V shapes here. So how I can reach this? Just simply add spotlights. And make the radius small to just affect on her face only. Okay, so just one spotlight can make difference. The same thing we did here in the background. I focus in the background. I really want to make each element visible. You see, this items, it's really dark, but once we add these lights, I add more life to these assets. Okay, here in the background here, I have this orange. I have orange, so I add big spotlights to just make this orange visible. So if we turn this off, you see, one spotlight, this is rim light, my rim light. Yes, Mattia?
Yeah, Karim, just to make sure that I get a rule out of it, like let's say a guidance. So I'm looking at the color harmony. So for instance, taking into like you talked about blending lights. So for instance, if I understand well, before I was going for a complementary approach with the homework I did for last time, blue and complementary orange. So when I look at it and I want to bring some complexity, for instance, I should go first like to a triadic and then maybe a tetradic, let's say, so in the sense of thinking, okay, I have got blue and I have orange. Now I have to find, like is missing some green and missing some purple, right? So that's the kind of mindset okay.
Yes.
So at the beginning, I have to ask myself what is missing here to make more blending. It's not like that I try around with.
Exactly. But listen, the first rule you have to think about the rule of light. Always think about the 3 points of light you have to add it in everywhere. Key light, fill light, and rim light. Always think this in mind. So before you start, you have to think about the background should have this 3 lights, the key light and fill light and rim light. Where I have to add the key light, where I have to put the fill light, where I have to put the rim light. After that, you can start to change the colors in this light. So I'm gonna say, okay, the rim light, I will add this light in orange, okay? And the fill light, I will add the blue light. The key light, it will be something white, for example. So don't put in mind first about the color. No, just focus first to put your light or spotlight correctly in the place, okay? And follow the rules. And after that, start to change the colors. After you change the colors, now you can add the layers of your lights on the characters. In the end, you will have a very nice matching. And never add any post-processing before you end all of these lights. Okay, so here's the rules. Add the 3 point of light, key light, fill light, rim light on the background and the character. Then it changes the temperature or the color. However, you're gonna change on the lights. Then you add your post-processing or color grading on your scene. So if you follow this, I think in the end you will get very nice lighting. Okay. One more thing, never keep any area here, it's fully dark. I have here, it's dark area, but this is not correct. Okay. So in the lighting side, we'll never keep any area has a fully dark lighting. So you can basically add more gamma, for example, to make this area more visible, or you can add a light like in fill light to just make the dark area more visible. Because when it's really dark, it's not gonna be natural. Because in the real life, any light should be pounced. So if you keep your light has a dark spot, like some of you did here, for example, let's open this image. You see this walls, it's fully dark. It's fully dark. But in the real life, if we have light like this light should be pounced on this wall. So never keep any area fully dark. At least add some light, even if it's very low light, but at least it's not gonna be black. Okay, it's the same thing we did in the characters. So when we have a character, never keep the dark side fully dark. No, just add just a little bit of light to have very low light on as a fill light on the dark side.
So in your shot now, what we're looking at, we see on the right and on the left, the walls are black.
Black, yes. That's not correct.
That is not correct?
Yes, that's not correct. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying now. It's not correct.
And also another thing, Karim, if I understand well, when you look at this image, for instance, let's say that you want to go for 3 colors. You don't only ask yourself if they are inside the image, all 3, but they must be somehow balanced in the different aspects of the image. Is that correct? Like, for instance,
exactly.
If you were thinking about blue, orange, and green, you want it to be not only on the character, not only on the right, but if it's not behind, you have to find a way to bring it in, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
On the scene overall, like in assets, you can change the asset colors. Like here on the sofa, you can do change the this color, the yellow. If you have something, if the full ground it's too yellow, so that's mean you can change, for example, this sofa to have more blue to break the orange color, or you can invert it this on the background. So as you said, you have to think about the environment overall.
Okay, so vegetation is always a good idea to bring inside green when it doesn't make sense to bring a green light. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just add more color harmony to the vegetation, and it's more bring more sense, you know. So the color harmony, it's not only about the light, it's the scene overall. It's about your scene. And one more thing here, if you look at the character, focus on the eye contact, the light inside her ear, in her eye. So the eye contact, it's very important, because if you miss this, let's turn this off. Where So I just need to, you see, if you miss this eye contact, your final image, it will be looks really bad. So the eye contact is very important to have this nice spot on the eye. It's bring more life to the character, like in real life. Okay, so always focus about this. Okay, so as I told you, I know it's hard to when you work to think about all of this thing, but if you keep practice every week, in the end you will get a very nice image. So as I told you, if I showed you my previous work, it was very, very bad because I missed a lot of things. But when I keep practice, I am gonna say, okay, I missed something here, so let's try to fix it and add it. After I add this, I look at the image and I feel it's still missing something. Okay, so let's keep practice and I will add another things here. So when you keep practice, I'm always say the practice, it's make different. Okay. Oh my God, I added weird. Even in the background, I just want to show you something here. It's very important before we end this. Where is the camera? Oh, it's here. Okay. It's classic. Turn this off. Let's look at the scene from the close shot. Okay. And I will select the direction light. Just see if we start to move the direction light, you see the difference between this mode and this mode. The background has too much yellow, and to break this, I just move the light direction to get something more bright. This is a blue light, but in the end, it's break the orange. Okay, this is not the final image because I think I turn off some lights, but when we even use the close shot camera or out of focus, you can adjust the light direction to get more nice lighting. Okay, so even if you put the light and your light it's ready to use, when you take the shot, you can start to move your lights to get some nice cinematic shot. So the difference between this mode and this mode, there is a big difference. So I add this to have these rings in out of focus, so that's bring more cinematic and bring more realism to the scene. Okay, so in the camera, what I did here, do you remember when we talked about the camera? I create 3 different camera. Okay, one for shot long, for long shot, and one for medium, and one for close shot. How I do this? I create a camera and I put in the position here. What's wrong with Unreal Engine? Okay, so if you look at the camera, my camera here, I have this camera. Okay, this is my main camera. Okay, I keep the camera in the same place, but I can start to adjust the camera the lens focal here. So to start to add, you see here the 60. It should, in the default, it's 11. So we have a very wide shot, but I will say, okay, I need to take the lens 55. 55, it should be medium shot. Most of the camera has it comes with the lens 55. So 55 medium shot. But if you add 80, you will have close shot. If you have 110, you have a very close shot. So put your camera in the correct position and just start to adjust the current focal to get the camera shot like in medium shot or long shot or close shot. After that, you can tweak the manual focus to get some nice out of focus in the background. Okay. So this is the idea also. As I mentioned in the beginning, if you have exterior, if you have something showed the exterior, never leave the exterior without add any background. So the background, it's very simple. Create plane and search for any images that you prefer to add it, and just add it as a emissive light. That's all you need in the background. Okay. And listen, the fog, it's gonna be the last step. Never add the fog before you make sure your image looks beautiful, because most of you in the test here, you focus more on the fog. The fog takes about 70% of the image. Okay, but the fog is nothing. The fog is nothing. The most important thing to create the cinematic light in your scene, and in the end, you can add this additional layer. The fog is important for an exterior scene. That's what we're gonna see after the break. We'll see how we can create a very pure fog effect. But in the interiors, never focus on the fog first. Focus on your lighting overall. And once you finish your lights, you can start to add your fog or post-processing or however you're gonna add it in your scene. But yeah, just follow these steps, and I'm sure maybe next week you will have better image. I'm very sure for this. And you see here, I just want to show you something here. Oh, this shot is beautiful. Wow, I love it. Okay, let's select this light. Just take a look the difference between it's a rectangle. No. Yes. You see the difference between this and this one. Do you remember when we spoke about the rim light and the dark side? Never keep it really dark, because if we look at this one, here air, it looks too dark and it's missing a lot of details. So you can add this light, or even you can put very low intensity, but in the end you can really see here air now. At least it's not dark, you see. We can really see the details of the air. So small details can make difference. I know it's hard, but as I told you, just put in mind the rules first. What I have to add: the key light, fill light, rim light. Okay, what is the purpose to add the key light? What is the purpose to add the fill light? What is the purpose to add the rim light? So always think about this. I add the fill light, the rim light, to make each asset has a separate from the background. So I make to isolate the assets from the background. So now this character has the lights here. Just which one? Yeah, you see here the character, the difference between the color for the hair and the background, there is no difference. But I need to isolate the characters from the background. So how I can isolate it? By add the rim lights. The same thing here on the sofa. We have a sofa here. So if we turn off this light, let's turn off this light. Where? It's point light? No. Yeah. You see, if we turn off, let's turn on all of this light and just, oh, but it's still light here. But anyway, go back. Okay, and let's turn this off. So just look at the difference between this and this. So I add the rim light to isolate sofa from the background because I need to make some additional layers or to make the layers more visible in the depth. Okay, so here's the idea for the rim light. So the rim light to isolate each assets from the background. I isolate the character. I isolate the sofa. I isolate the kitchen. I isolate the chair. So you can isolate it, okay, and make some highlights in the background. The key light to add my main light in the scene. The fill light to make the dark area more visible, not to be more too dark. So here's the idea. Fill light to make the dark area has light, not to be too dark. The key light, it's my main light, and this is gonna be telling the story. And the rim light, it's gonna isolate the assets from the background and make highlights between each element. Okay, so that's clear.
Yes.
Okay.
But Karim, before you finish, can you please tell me why the channel linking was not working?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Please.
Absolutely.
Because
yeah. So basically, if you select any meta-human character, the meta-human, they put it inside the blueprint. Okay. So to use the channel, you have simply select, let's say, the body. And now if you search for the channel, you will find the channel enabled now. But you have to select the body and the face and the hair, Air Pro. So you can simply just select all of them. Don't select the roots. You can just go here. And from here, if you search for channel, you can find the channel. So turn this off or turn this on. It's up to you.
okay.
Okay. So yeah, but if you select the root, you see, it will be hidden. So don't select the root, just select the rest of the assets, like body, face, hair, or you can select I just need to select the hair. I can select only the face. So it's up to you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, guys, so it's clear for everyone? Okay, so yeah, again, just try to do one more practice on this scene because in the interior, it's something very complicated. Maybe after the break, I will try to find this email. Why we do the practice in the interior? Because the first interview I got as a lighting position, it was with Remedy Games. I don't know if some of you know Remedy or not, but Remedy, they made the Max Payne, and this is the first game I played in my life. But they give me one of the worst environment I seen in my life. It was default scene in Unreal Engine, and they add two characters, male and female, and they asked me to create cinematic light. They was looking for to have romantic light and some traditional lights. They asked to add some action in this light. And if I showed you this scene, it was really very bad, very bad scene. But the idea how you can add the light to make this scene more beautiful. Like what we have this scene, the scene, if you open the master scene, the light, we have only one light comes from the direction light and some spotlight around. But when we change the lights and create your own cinematic light, you will get very nice, pure image and natural image, like in movies. Okay, so always think about how to create your light setup like in movie or in the cinema. Okay, so never put the light as a static, never. I never add direction light because anybody can add direction light. Anyone can just add two light source. But the hardest part, how I can add 5 or 6 or 7 light and blend it together. In the end, you will feel like I only have 2 light source. If you look at this image, if I told you how many light source, you will say you have, I think, 3. So the spotlight on the top, and one here in the front, and one in the background from the outside. Is that correct? But actually we have about 7 lights or 8. I don't know really how much, but you see, boom. And when you work on light, always turn off all of this light and just add your specific light. So when I add the rim light, I turn off all of the light and just add the rim light, because I need to see the layers. I need to make sure the layers, it's correct. So when you turn on this light, okay, I can really see it. So now I have nice backlight. Okay, so let's turn this off. Let's check this. The light in background looks great. The light on her face, you see, has V shape. Perfect, that's correct. So it's layers, just add additional layers. In the end, when you turn on all of this light, boom, we have a beautiful shot. And this is another secret also. When you work, never add all the light together one time. No, just add the key light, and after you finish it, turn off, and then add the fill light. After you finish, turn off the key and the fill, and then add the rim light. After you finish the main point light, the key and fill and rim, turn them on, and look at this. Okay, that's matching. It looks okay. There is balance between each light. If you feel it's okay, keep it, and then turn this off and start to work on the background. Or as I said, work first on the background and then add your light in the on the character. So here's the idea. So just use it as layers. Use the layers. Because in the end, when you're gonna work on your portfolio, you have to do the same things that I did here. It's very important if you are looking for the lighting position to become a lighting artist. I just create a GIF image on Photoshop to show my light process. So here, anyone it's gonna hire you, so he will look at this image and say, yes, this guy, he really understands what he has to do. So he add the 3 point of light, he add the backlight, he add the fill light, he add the rim light. So that's how you can show your work. But just think, you have this, you have an image, and in your progress, you just add direction light and spotlight. Why this company is gonna hire you? He can ask any environment artist to do the same thing. Okay, so to become a lighting artist, you have to be professional, and you have at least to have the basic knowledge for the lighting, how to set up the light in the scene. And after that, there is another section, it's called how to solve the problems. Part of your work to solve the problem. Okay, to solve the problems, it could be move the light props. It could be move the props itself in the scene. So sometimes I just spoke with the environmental artist and told him, hey, listen, this props distracted the lighting. I need to move it a bit higher, or I just move it to the right position to just get some nice shots. Okay, or even I'm gonna ask the cinematic to move the camera position to get the my lighting into proper shots, or to have some nice cinematic shot. So you have to always think about this. So I'm gonna put my light first, but when I work on my light, I have to think about how to fix the problems. If you face any issue, you have to fix it. And always think about the light as a natural. You are working now in the natural scene, like this interior scene. So what I have to add in the exterior, what I have to add in the interior, from where I'm gonna take my shots. Okay. So all of this thing, if you put in mind, in the end, you will get a beautiful shots. Okay. So I think we covered everything now in the cinematic. I will keep you this week to do some practice. The next hour we'll talk about the exterior scenes. We'll see how we can create very natural light in the exterior. And then we'll see how we can also add the fog elements to get different moods. If you have any question, you can ask me before we start. So let's take a break 10 minutes and we'll back in 10 minutes. And after that, we can start work on the exterior. Is that okay for you, or you want to still keep working on the interior? And we can focus maybe tomorrow on the exterior. So that's something I really want to make sure that you okay. Yeah.
Just one opinion. To me, it would be
Yeah.
great if we do one final hour today, so we conclude like the topic of interiors.
Okay.
But of course, I think we all give our opinion, and then we.
Yeah, sure. So let's see. What? Yes, Muhammad.
I would love that you create, like, you take a ref of an interior
Yes.
and you do it from scratch in
Perfect.
front of us.
Yes.
So you read which lights there is in the ref and how to do it inside the scene.
Okay.
That way we can understand from the basics and all that you explained to us today. So
Absolutely, I agree with you. Okay,
we
we
enter
can do
in your
this
mind.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
how to
that's
process
perfect.
the image, how to process the ref, etc. Yeah.
All right.
We are stealing your ideas, Karim.
Don't worry. Yeah, it's okay. Sure. All right. So, okay, let's do it. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Okay, so let's take a break, and after a break, we'll get a reference and we'll start to work on the light together. Okay.
Thank you. You're the best.
No problem. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna pause.